Welcome back. I guess you liked the last video I shared with you. So here's the next one. Get out of my head. The heck am I talking about? Get out of my head. Well, how much are you in your head? You know. How much activity do you have in your head? Do you have a hard time sleeping? You have a hard time slowing it down? Sometimes the things that you hear in your head, are they negative? Not so good? Probably, right? You guys are kind of feeling that? Well, that's what it is. Get out of my head. Get out of my head is important. Because really that was kind of the first point of my life that I took action and said, enough is enough. Yeah. And I'll tell you, it's quite amazing. It's truly amazing the kind of responses I got when I was understanding a little bit more of those thoughts that were going through my head. Sometimes those thoughts were demeaning, and I didn't like that. The weirdest part is through my observation and talking to other people, I've recognized that I'm not the only one that has issues turning it off, getting that to stop. Because I love myself, and I'm sure you love yourself as well. So how could you talk to yourself that way, right? How could you have that thought? Some of your thoughts I've heard are pretty nasty. Sometimes they're about doing something bad to another person or wishing ill thoughts on someone else. Think about it. Is that really you? Is that something you would do? Well, on the day that I truly understood that I had to counter those thoughts, I was laying in bed. And of course, I'm a paranormal investigator, so I've experienced a lot. Sometimes the more risky and dangerous aspects to things that are around us. All right? And me being a scientist, always trying to debunk and try to figure out what is going on. One morning, started recognizing that those thoughts in my head were outside me. Yeah, isn't that weird? It's really weird. And it doesn't have to be scary, because we've had these thoughts our whole life, and look, we're still here, we're still walking around. But one morning, I was feeling really down. And I've recognized that sometimes through paranormal investigation, you have to be monitoring whether or not you brought something home with you, right? But what's interesting is it seemed as though something playing in my mind. I was trying to figure out, is there something in my room with me? Something heavy, something dark with me? And I got no in my head, in my mind. And I just knew something was up with that. That didn't seem right. It seemed like, wait, something's up in here. Something's not quite right. So then I verbally said, get out of my head. As soon as I said get out of my head, a lifting happened. A less weight on me happened. And at that point, I started devising and recognizing that there is a high probability that some of these chatters we have in our head are from something outside of us, something dark energies from our past. So I've worked with many different people, and one of the things I found that happened quite often was I was like, okay, let's figure out, is what's in your head intention, is it outside of you, if it's actually, real, if it's something outside. So I said, let's try something. Let's do something just for fun. What did I end up doing? I said, can you say this phrase? It's just a simple phrase. It's not a big deal. It was, get out of my head. It's a commandment. Well, everyone, that's just a saying. It's this phrase, right? What I found with people who are having extremely difficult times with activity in their head, when they said this phrase, they heard no. Does anyone else see that to be slightly concerning? I say something out loud and I hear in my head as a response to my question, no. Like they're not going to get out of their head. They're not going to stop the chatter. Isn't that weird? I mean, that's weird. If we're talking, if people think, we're having thoughts and we're contemplating doing things and da-da-da-da, all right? And we're just kind of going over things in our head. It's us, right? It's us. We're we're debating our head. Should I go left or should I go right? And having a discussion. Should I date this person? Should I date that person? Or should I buy this food or that food? We're talking to ourselves, right? But how come over and over repeatedly, either people had a hard time even saying the phrase because something inside was not wanting to, or when they said, get out of my head, they actually, what was in there, what was communicating with them, didn't want to leave. So with this being said, be aware of a couple things. We have a choice. And our choice, if you believe it, our choice is to live on our terms, not anyone else's terms. Our terms, right? There are rules. The rules are this. If we got darkness on us, we tell them to get out with our full intention, with our heart, with our passion, with our driving. Get out of my head. Leave me now. I've used this in paranormal investigation as well. People are having issues in their homes. 99% of the time, I'm just basically saying you need to be direct in that house and you need to tell what's in there to get the hell away. Leave us alone. This is our place with a nice, strong, authoritative action. Okay? They take care of it. Why? Because it's our choice. It's our choice to listen to this stuff. It's our choice to release attachments from our past. It's our choice to live. It's our choice to relive our past. Ew, that's not a good one, especially if it's not a very good one. Okay? It's our choice. All right? Keeps on coming down to choice. But the thing is this. It's time to slow down this, right? Get out of my head is a commandment. Listen to your thoughts because they'll reveal themselves. There can be revealing going on right at that moment. Get out of my head. It's a commandment. I'm putting my foot down. No more. It's kind of like having an unruly child in the house. You ain't doing this no more. Or I've done some babysitting in my day. And I'll tell you what, the kids would, they would listen to me because I'd basically say, this is the way it's going to be done. You're not going to do it other ways. Okay? So the same thing goes with this. Okay? So, get out of my head. It's a, one more time. Get out of my head. It's a, exactly, commandment. This is my line on the road. This is my line in the sand. This is my action to living. Later.